Good afternoon, learners. Once again, welcome to another edition of the e-learning segment. We continue today with our lesson 2, and we want to continue from where we left off the other time. The previous lesson was centered on young people and nation building, and a lot was said about this topic. We mentioned and explained who an adolescent is, who a young person is, the differences between adolescents and so on and so forth. Also, we also talked about certain changes that boys and girls during adolescence undergo, and was classified into 3 different ways. We said that boys and girls go through physical changes as they grow, and physical changes in adolescence was explained as the physical changes or the physical things that we see on their bodies as they grow. On the other hand, we also talk about emotional or psychological changes, which was also expressed as the feelings and thinking about the adolescent boy and girl. Today, I want us to continue and then delve deeper into the definitions we gave the other time in our lesson. We are looking at the changes that occur during adolescence, and it was said that both boys and girls undergo changes as they grow, which was admitted in our previous lesson. This means that everyone who is above 19 has once undergone these changes. So you have to agree with me that you are not the first person or people undergoing these changes we are talking about. Our parents, our teachers, our uncles, our older siblings, and the rest has also undergone these same changes. So it isn't any new thing that you have to think about. During adolescence, physical, emotional, and psychological changes take place in the minds and bodies. I have underlined minds and bodies to mean that the minds, what must come in mind is about the emotional or the psychological changes that boys and girls undergo. And then the bodies is what happens on the appearance of the young person, the ones that can be seen and touched on the adolescent. So we said that during adolescence, physical and emotional or psychological changes take place in the minds and bodies of boys and girls. These changes prepare them for adulthood. These changes that we are talking about is what prepares the boys and girls for adulthood. So in defining and explaining a little bit deeper into what physical changes are, we say that they are the changes that occur or take place in the appearance of the young person. That is, the physical things that can be seen on the young person's body as they grow. Things that you can see for yourself as changes that has happened or taking place as you grow is what you are talking about. And that is the physical changes that you are talking about. Some of that occur in adolescent boys. Some of the changes that occur in adolescent boys include breaking of voice. Breaking of voice, what it means is that boys now begins to speak at a very deeper voice or deeper tone. They speak like men. Secondly, they also broaden in chest. Their chest becomes broader. It broadens or becomes larger than before. On the other hand, they also have or grow facial, armpit, and pubic hairs. When I say armpit, you know where your armpit is. You know facial. With facial hair, I'm talking about the beards and the mustache. Beards and mustache is what we call the facial hairs. And boys begin to develop or grow such hairs as they go through adolescence. And then pubic hairs is the hairs that grow on the genitals. And these are also some of the physical changes that boys also undergo. On the other hand, in adding more, they also enlarge in testes and then penis. This is a little bit funny, but what I will say is when boys begin to grow, their testes and their penis also enlarges or becomes bigger than as they were born with. And when you realize or see something of this kind, you also know that you have reached your adolescent stage. They also acquire excess energy. Boys acquire excess energy. They also grow in height and weight. Yes. For you to determine you are growing, you become fatter and then taller. And when this is seen, we admit that one is growing to become an adult. And this is where time will permit us to draw the curtain down on today's lesson. The other types of changes that boys and girls undergo, that is the emotional and the psychological changes, will be dealt with in our next lesson. Thank you very much for cooperating with me. I am your facilitator, Mr. KWAKYE. Thank you very much.